I'm Tom Keir, Investment Analyst at Loftus Peak. Welcome to Update Plus, our monthly checkup on the big disruptive trends that are driving business and our portfolios. Now today I want to talk about ASICs, not the shoes and not the regulators, but application-specific integrated circuits, the type of logic semiconductor. Now today NVIDIA is valued over $2 trillion US. Its graphics processing units, or GPUs, dominate the server racks of any data center trying to run generative AI models, ChatGPT. In our most recent insight, and the link's in the description, we explored how NVIDIA's GPUs are unlikely to face strong near-term competition from other hardware. ASICs are among this competition, however, we do believe they pose a meaningful long-term challenge. Now, various types of logic hardware can be organized according to three factors: programmability, performance, and cost. A central processing unit, or CPU, is the most programmable piece of hardware and can only execute lines of code serially, one after another. This means the CPU is inefficient at large volumes of repetitive calculations. And this is why the GPU was invented. The CPU offloads these calculations to the GPU then pre-processes the calculations and then solves them in parallel. The importance of the GPU has risen dramatically as demand for calculation-heavy code has increased. You would not be able to render computer-generated images in films or run your large language models without GPUs. However, if we think about what the GPU is actually doing, the first step is determining how the task can be broken down into digestible chunks and then solving those chunks. Now, with AI models specifically, the convolutional neural networks, which we're all used to, like in ChatGPT again, we know that these chunks will have the same structure every time. This means that the pre-processing step is superfluous and can be outsourced to other cheaper silicon, much in the same way that the CPU wants outsourced to the GPU. So why doesn't everyone do this? Well, the simple answer is cost and time. There are a few scenarios where the efficiency of the ASIC outweighs the cost of developing an entirely new chip. For the vast majority of complex code problems, using an off-the-shelf GPU, probably an NVIDIA one, is the only feasible choice. Most calculations are simply insufficiently common to justify the upfront cost. And ASIC chips take years to develop, and also require the redesigning of the data center structure to best facilitate the outsourced calculation pre-processing. And there's also no guarantee that today's AI model architecture will be in use tomorrow. And if the architecture changes, today's ASIC development may be rendered entirely useless. And that is why ASICs are not a near-term risk. However, in a couple of years' time, with greater certainty of what calculations are required, they could challenge NVIDIA. And this is nothing new. In fact, the contest between ASICs and GPUs occurred before the AI boom, when NVIDIA went head-to-head with ASICs to see which was the best hardware for mining Bitcoin. So who makes the ASICs? Well, today's most lucrative ASIC is Google's Tensor Processing Unit, or TPU, designed in conjunction with Broadcom. And the TPU is probably the ASIC with the best scale and track record for use, in regards to AI models at least. Nevertheless, Marvell is growing the number of partners with which it co-designs ASICs. AMD offers field programmable gate arrays, or FPGAs, which is sort of a midpoint between GPUs and ASICs. Amazon offers Trainium and Inferentia, and Meta offers MTIA, and Amazon and Meta's chips are internally developed. It is also worth mentioning that many of these ASICs are fabricated by TSMC, who also currently fabricates NVIDIA's chips. And NVIDIA, for their part, are not being caught totally flat-footed here. They have offered to work with their large data center customers to design custom silicon, although the exact specifications of what their custom chips would be remains unknown. Only time will tell. However, we will continue to follow the latest in semiconductor disruption in order to best position the portfolios we manage. Thanks for your time. I'm Tom Keir from Loftus Peak. See you next month.